the topic being can online learning replace offline learning in future carries at most important at this time, because we all somewhere in life have been acquainted with this issue. It is not just in India, but at the places where we see people going abroad due to some issues when they can't, and the pandemic has caused a lot of troubles to them as well. They are sitting at their homes taking online classes. So we have students from that type of background as well, and we are obliged enough to listen to them as well. Since schools are no longer represented by big buildings and big porches, they're represented by the accessibility of their digital platforms. How good are they to let their students study online? So I have people not just from India, but from abroad as well. For example, Natasha, who is here with us today. We are very happy that you are here, Natasha. So I would like to start the conversation with you only. I would request you to just turn on your voice.
Here I am.
Yeah, can you hear me, Natasha? Is it fine?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So Natasha, since you are a music teacher and
Yes.
you teach the students who are of 11 to 13 year of age, and that's
Yes.
quite age where people, students are adolescents. They are learning how to be mature. What kind of benefits, or I may say advantages, have you seen while conducting online classes at your end?
Okay. My students are a very bad situation, socioeconomical, so they were not used to use the technology to learn. So was the opportunity to teach them how to use the technology. At the end, I didn't teach really them, but I learned to them how to use application with the phone, use some website to search news. Yes, at the end, the topic was we study a period of the music story, but they was forced to use the technology because they were not to use. They didn't use the email. They didn't only some play game with the phone, but not more. So I try to use this period to teach them these tools. What happens was that the gap between a kind of student that had the opportunities, had the computer at home, had economical possibilities, were in a certain place, they could work, they could study. The other one that had very bad economical situation or cultural situation, also languages, because maybe the family, they arrived in Italy 1 month before the start of the COVID. They had a very difficult moment. So I try to reduce the gap and work with them, teaching them how to use the technology. This was an opportunity because before in the school we didn't use. So in the future, maybe we need the teachers and also the students need to be trained to how to use this technology. And then we can start to do lessons online, because it's very difficult start from a zero to use all these kind of tools. For them was very difficult. So it's an opportunity, a benefit, because in the future they will use this technology. And the challenge was this, to teach them how to use. So the music was an excuse to teach them, because at the end, the practical part of the music we didn't do because it was impossible. Most of them left the instrument in the school, but the school was closed. And so for the delay, the bad connections, it was very impossible to make a music lesson. So I prefer think about the theoretical part of the music and use it to teaching them something more different. And was at the end a success, because most of them that were not thinking about it, these possibilities, enjoyed with this wonderful world of the technology, and really learned how to use it. So, and at the end, every one of my students has to prepare for me a PowerPoint or a presentation or a little website, something that they can choose about topics that they choose. So this was a very, at the end, an opportunity.
Well, that's great, Natasha. You have seen it in a very positive way. I do not generally see teachers talking like this, that they have taken this so positively, but I'm glad that you have done. So, as a teacher, when it comes to a very practical subjects like flute or music or playing guitar and all the things associated to it, what, in your opinion, should be the government's approach to tackle this situation?
Allora, well, what I said before, it's that we have to train to use the tools online, because there are a lot of application software to use music in a different way, but not only music, arts, drawing, there are a lot of subjects, but we have to be trained before. So the government has to prepare a course for the teacher and for the student before to use this possibility, because it's very, very difficult, like this time, use it without knowledge, without instrument, because most of them had not at home a computer, so they used only a smartphone. How can you draw plane or something like that with the, it's impossible. So, or see, or only see this, the instructor wrote very little. They had very difficulty. So if the government give us the possibility to train before and find the ways, find the application, find the tools before, in the future, only not in present, but online will be better to make these lessons. But I want to say one thing. The course online can be used instead of the lessons in present, not for all the time. It's an emergency. No, it's always better see in the eyes your student, obviously. But in case of emergency, it's a very good possibility. We have no more. We have no other possibility with this one. So, but they can work together, online and in present. Not only online. It's a kind of come si dice mancanza? Lack.
It's a lack.
Lack of feelings, emotions, knowledge, something more. Okay, it's not only this is more or less.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Natasha. That was so wonderful. And you gave us a lot of positive insights. And I think we all as humans must focus on what's positive instead of looking at all the negative aspects of the situation. So thank you so much, Natasha, for your time. Thank you. It was lovely having you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. I say here.
So once we're talking about the kind of online teaching that we are watching each and every day, might be happening in all the places of the world, we have a very broad topic here to discuss, and that is the International English Language Testing System. Many of us know it by the name of IELTS, and I'm actually lucky enough to have one of the trainers with us here today, Nishtha ma'am, who is...
Arpan, we have a question from our audience side. Natasha, the question is for you. The question says that how has the COVID pandemic affected education system in Italy? How and up to what extent?
Can you repeat the question, Rajat?
How and up to what extent the COVID pandemic affected education system in Italy? Gaurav, you can answer on her side. We know that she is not that comfortable in English.
Just have to translate it.
Okay. The effect was that not all the people, not all the students was able to join the lesson. So the weaker couldn't approach this kind of course, so this kind of lessons. this was the bad part of this moment. And what I said before, the gap between the students becomes very bigger now, because who could approach these tools, these instruments, etc., go ahead. The other one remain behind. This was the situation. And the COVID during the student didn't realize immediately what was the situation. At the end, in the beginning, the students said, "Oh, wow, it's a vacation, it's an holiday. We stay home, we didn't do nothing." Yes, after a month, they started to be very depression. Said, "I want to see my friends. I want to see the other people. I want to see the teachers," and something like that. And the COVID affect very too much on their emotions, their feelings. At the end, when they finished the school and the COVID, the emergency was less, they go out the house and starting to keep in touch with the friends, with the other. Yes, the things that they miss more was the contact with the friends. Yes, was. I think in all the world, not in Italy, it's a problem in every country.
Rajat, just to give a little bit from my side, the impact of COVID on the society in Italy was quite bad, because when we were having our peak, more than 800 people to 900 people were dying every day, you know. So the emotional impact of this was very strong. But the government imposed the lockdown, and therefore people had to stay inside. So slowly the impact started reducing, right? And at first the children thought that they are at home, but then they started getting more afraid and fear because of the situation. And then the teachers, it became the responsibility of the teachers to keep them all together, to keep them all sane and safe in their head, which was very difficult. So instead of doing music practically, they started talking more about the story of the music, and trying to get into understand the music from the other side. Almost all the children suffered.
Yes, and also there were children that were alone at home because the parents had to work, so they were alone in the house, and around them there was COVID, and they only know that they couldn't go out. Yes, like in a jail, no? So they couldn't see the other one, they couldn't go in the park, and they were alone because the parents had to work. So
basically the pandemic gave a psychological, it brought a psychological effect on their minds, and also a practical subject needed to be converted to a theoretical subject like music.
Yeah.
Right. So Arpan, please.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I was interrupted in between, Nishta ma'am. I'm really sorry about that. So ma'am, I was actually talking about the IELTS, which is the International English Language Testing System, an exam which we have to give while we are settling abroad or we are going to study abroad. Now, when we talk about the online teaching, I think it just not only needs to get confined in between online teaching. There are exams involved in it, which is right now a very challenging task, because the schools, institutions, or maybe if I talk about IDP and British Council, the bodies which conduct IELTS throughout India, they might have faced a lot of problems generating their own applications and letting children come and people come to take the exams. So Nishtha ma'am, first of all, I would request you to unmute yourself so that I can ask you the question.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
No worries, ma'am.
So, happening automatically.
It happens.
Okay. Yeah.
we talk about IELTS, we talk about four different things altogether. We talk about listening, we talk about reading, we talk about writing and speaking. Since writing and speaking are the things which can be done online with no more hassle, but reading is a thing which is complicated, because there you have to tell the students that these are some of the tips and tips and tricks that you have to follow while solving your exams, and if this comes, you have to apply this answer. So how
Mhm.
that has been challenging for you?
Well, first of all, Arpan, thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. I'm very elated that I'm part of this session today, because it gives me platform here to actually help a lot of people who are in dilemma whether about IELTS, and it is a big deal for lot of them. Okay, so yes, definitely reading section is one of the most difficult, and I would say people are literally scared of reading. They don't want to do it, but they have to do it. So ultimately, I can only say one thing here, that it's all about how do you look at the situation. So for example, it's been many years I'm part of this industry, so my way of teaching is very different. First of all, it's very important for everybody that if you will pre-think that it is difficult, it will absolutely be difficult for all of you. So don't do that. IELTS is not something that needs a lot of effort or a lot of thinking. It's something which you should enjoy and you should take interest while learning. So I always
Yeah.
try to make it enjoyable for my students. So yeah, phobia is there, but the trainer has a major role in eradicating the phobia of many students. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
ma'am. So yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So while I was searching the list of the pen paper based test in IELTS, it is not as
Hmm.
opened as in the cities which are letting students to come exam. And Delhi is, I think, far away from that list. And we've seen a lot of people taking the computer based test. So what advantages does this computer based test have over the pen paper based test? And do you think it needs to be replaced with just computer based test in the future?
Arpit, I think it's a myth. People believe what they hear from other people. So probably, I think it depends on your caliber, whether you are good with typing or you're good with writing. So I think if you get score with computer based, you'll opt for computer based and you listen to different experiences. In my opinion, first you need to do some R&D and find out that whether, so for example, if I am not so good with typing and forcefully I am giving computer based exam because I know, okay, I have to give IELTS, I have to go to Canada, I don't think I'm making justice and I am being fair with myself. And people always come, student always come and ask me, ma'am, which is better, one we should go for. I always suggest them go for the one that you are comfortable with. For example, if your typing speed is good, go for computer based, there's no problem. And scoring doesn't matter here. Scoring is something, if you will write the answers, you will get the marks. If you won't write anything, nothing will be given to you, right? So it's all about how well do you attempt and in which manner.
Absolutely,
So
ma'am. That was again wonderful listening to you. I think we got to learn a lot about IELTS here, particularly, and you will be letting more people to speak on this as well. So, thank you so much for your
yeah,
time, Nishta, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. And I would like to just say one thing to Natasha, just an example here. I was very interested and keen to hear whatever she was saying. So, Natasha, see, I have also heard here people are doing live concerts, music. So, I think if you really want to learn something, you will, pick up the online platform. And at the end, it's technology. We all are connected with it. So, people should take it in a positive manner. Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely, John. Absolutely. So again, a very wonderful side, taking the discussion all over to positivities of online education. Now, when we're talking about India, I think there are a lot of people in between us who have Indian education system based studies, and they are into colleges and institutions. And we have taken a lot of interviews yesterday's as well, and that was a tremendous success. So now coming back to the students who are Indian but are taking international studies. I mean, sitting at your own pace and letting that institution teach you here at your home. Some of them who couldn't travel abroad. I have one of them with me here, Soumya, who is a really good friend of mine. Hi, Soumya. Can you please turn on your mic?
Yes, ma'am.
Benefit have you seen?
According to me, it's all about flexibility. The classes are so flexible. We do not have a particular time to attend. We do have Zoom sessions. We have to attend it on a particular given time. But if we talk about the assignments, we have been allotted with assignments as well, and the deadline has been given that we have to submit it on a particular time. So we can do that, but we are flexible to complete it on any time we have given. We can complete it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, anytime, and we have to submit it on the deadline. So that's how that is so comfortable for a person to complete an assignment. So I think it's really flexible for students to commence their work and complete it on time.
Great, Soumya. So, since apart from the flexibility, there's one more point which you might have saved a lot on GIC and living expense, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So how does that feel? I mean, can you expect the online classes to conduct it whole of your course? Do you want it to happen, because you are saving a lot of money here?
That's true. We have saved a lot of money. Each and every student, my batchmates have saved a lot of money because the GIC that we have paid, the GIC is sure in the safe in the account. So we have saved that money, but we cannot rely on the fact that we will just hold it in a long run. It's okay for now, but as we have paid a huge penny on immigration services, so I really want to go there and enjoy further activities as well. I really want to be on campus. I don't want to hold this program for whole the course. So I want to go on campus and want to meet my friends, my teachers, and so on.
Great, Soumya. So you've been mentioning about the end of your semester one. So how was it? I mean, the exams particularly, which you have some challenge that you faced technically.
It was challenging, but we are comfortable in giving exams. One can. It was bit of technically it was like body aches a lot when we have to sit for three continuous 3 hours. It wasn't possible for the teachers also that they cannot conduct whole class on Zoom meeting. We cannot on the camera and just sit in front of them. Even it was not possible for the teachers as well to sit and look each and every student. So they just gave a Word document, MS Word document, and said that you have to complete it in a given time. Just set the time, set a timer, and just complete it in 3 hours and then submit it on the Moodle. And the checking was also linear. So that was easy for each and every student and was comfortable as well. So it was quite good, but it wasn't. It was disadvantages at the same time because it doesn't allow a person to brainstorm the thinking abilities, and a person is taking exam and searching on the internet as well on the same time. So that wasn't a positive facet. It possesses a negative facet as well.
Might have came as a perk for those who don't know what to write. Well, that's another advantage adding to the list. And Soumya again has taken the discussion to a very positive side, and it's good to eradicate all the negativity from this issue as well. So
Arpan, I believe whatever Soumya said, that again, points towards a debate that we were discussing yesterday, that availability of resources. If she is appearing for some IELTS exam or some big exams of that sort that are ready to conduct the computer-based exams, so then it's fine. But we have seen that in Delhi University, when they, conducted mock tests online, their servers wholly crashed. So when the system is not ready to conduct the examination online, and then also the UGC and the universities are forcing examinations online, then somewhere we are, compromising with the development of the students, or maybe their performance. And such type of issues, and such type of issues are, we can see a number of issues of such sort. Like I was discussing earlier before this meeting with some friends of mine that today when we are sitting at our homes and we are discussing upon the education system online, we can see that the students who are attending the classes, they are not in the uniform, and obviously that doesn't matter. But what was the sole reason behind the uniforms in the schools was for every student to appear the same, and no one should have any inferiority or superiority complex while they are getting education. So while we are conducting sessions online, we are compromising with that discipline, that uniform code, and such type of problems. Another point was about the education for handicapped students. You know, online education proved to be
I was about
beneficial
to
for them.
mention.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I would love if you enlighten this topic.
I would just like to add on one single point for them, because they are now free from hassles of transportation, going to one place from the another, and then constant bullying and issues like that. If I get to interview one person of them, I think I will be getting a lot to learn about this particular thing, because they are now only talking about the things related to online education, but they are now talking about the career prospects out of it. Many of them have planned to go into the line of digital marketing, which doesn't only opens a good platform to learn, but lucrative options after class 11th and 12th. They have a lot to see, I think. So there's a lot of things which we have to see particularly in this. But if I get to see it from the government's point of view, I think a lot of things happening, because Delhi government, I think in the previous week, I think they released a notice which stated that schools and institutions are allowed to conduct classes of 30 minutes, and that too on alternative days. And for primary or seniors, the classes were different. So they are themselves watching people suffering from some health hazards. I take it personally as well, because when I sit with my younger brother, I used to get strain in my eyes. It is that harmful. And can you expect the situation of a toddler, that what kind of impression he is having in his eyes and mind? It sometimes irritates me. But since we're left with no option, I think this is the right thing to avail at this point of time.
Apan, we are running out of time now. We have just 5 minutes left. So if we have some other speakers, they can raise their hands or they can message us in the group chat. And Apan, if we have some other speakers, we can give them a time frame of 2 minutes only, please.
I think there's one question from Rashmi. Is there any instruction from Canada Immigration? When will they open border for Indian students? I think for that, you must go to the Canadian immigration guidelines, which are provided there at the Canadian website. They keep on updating you with all what is happening. As according to the best of my knowledge, when I teach my students, I usually guide them for no option left here, because it's all closed, and we don't really know when it will open. So you must have a check on the Canadian Immigration Board, and the website is canada.ca. So you can check there.
And before checking out with the Canadian board, I think you have to check out with the Civil Aviation Ministry of India, that are they allowing you to fly now?
Absolutely, because in the situation in India is worse than situation in Canada. So let the condition get normal in India first. All right, Rajat, I think we are at the verge to end this program. And for that, I would just like to give my vote of thanks to everyone who joined us here. Natasha, a big thank you from India, from my side, to Soumya here, who is very busy with her assignments, but still took out some time. To Nishtha ma'am, who was really busy, but still took out some time for us. Thank you so much, guys, for coming here. And thank you, Rajat, for handling all the technical things besides. I think you're doing a lot with it.
It's my pleasure and it's my duty, Apan.
Yeah. All right. So it was wonderful having you all. We ended up making a lot of positivities out of this situation. And in future, we will be getting up with some lot of more interesting topics for you all. So stay connected with us and keep watching Youthlook. It was an honor having you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
You too, Natasha. You too, Gaurav. Ladies and gentlemen, from the side of the team Youthlook, I would like to request you all to please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are very much active there. We are posting daily news and analysis there. We also are posting a Aap Ki Rai section wherein you can give your opinion on various topics of the day. Also to enhance your analytical skills, we are posting brain teasers daily on Facebook and Instagram, and it will be very much beneficial for you, for your for your students, for your children, and for parents also, and for those who are planning for the government jobs also. The brain teasers and quizzes are there. So I would like to request you all to please follow us on all the social media platforms. The links are available on YouTube, Instagram, and on the registration form also that you got from our site. Thank you so much once again for making it a success. We'll try to summarize all the points and submit a report on our platforms. Thank you so much once again.